Hi, everyone. This is Ed LaFlamme, head harvester from the East Coast. And there's a problem I think you all share, and that's getting good people, finding and getting good people, and keeping them, keeping those good people. I know all my clients have has that problem. They've always had that problem. And when I had my company years back, I had that problem. But we're here today with Dave Pacifico, and he's worked to help solve that problem. And I love that because of that, Dave. And maybe you could tell us a little about yourself and a little about the company you started.
Yeah, hi everybody, and hi Ed. It's always good to talk to you. Always love our chats. My name's Dave Pacifico. I founded Team Engine back at the beginning of 2018 because we saw what Ed said that you all are seeing is that it's incredibly difficult to hire and retain the people that you need to meet your customer demand, and it's often the number one limiting factor in growth for businesses in this space. And we just didn't feel like anything was really built to solve the problem for these businesses, where it's just very unique in terms of the type of people that you're trying to find, the challenges of engaging with them and retaining them when they're out in the field. Maybe they do or don't speak English. And especially as you start to scale your business, it only gets harder. So we just felt like it was really underserved, this huge problem that exists for a huge number of companies that frankly run the economy, and there was a big opportunity. And so far, we've been right.
So let me ask you, from your perspective, what do you think the biggest breakdown that's happening when companies try to hire folks?
Yeah, so the number one thing that I usually see is people kind of assuming that it's a sourcing problem. I'm going to go post on Indeed. I'm not getting who I need, and so I'm just going to bemoan the fact that there aren't people out there that will want a job. Uh, and so it's thinking of the problem in a very limited way and a very passive way. So assuming that they could just go to Indeed and find all the people that they need, and those people are going to immediately want to work for them. And instead, we really feel strongly that you need to think about the problem much broader than that in terms of your responsibilities as the hiring person, getting them through the process really efficiently, making sure that they feel some reason to work for you as a business versus any number of other companies they could be working for in the area. And then just being creative and diversified in how you go out and find those people and extending well beyond just posting on a few job boards and hoping that they come to you.
What does Team Engine do differently then?
Yeah, great question. So Team Engine, we help you really diversify how you're going out and finding people. So everything from, of course, you've got to be able to post on your big standard job boards, but there's also lots of people who are scrolling Instagram and maybe they see an ad for a job, or I see a lot of customers have a lot of success with radio ads and walk-ins and all sorts of different things. But managing all those different sources and using them effectively and understanding which ones are working and which ones aren't is really hard. And so Team Engine helps you really understand what is and what isn't working. But then beyond just that initial upfront lead capture, you really have to be able to provide that applicant with a great experience at every step of the process. But that's really difficult because you're also trying to run your business and deliver for your customers. And so, really communicating effectively with them at every step of the way and doing that quickly and as much as possible in an automated way so that you can focus on things that only you can do for your business is also really important. And then finally, it doesn't end when that person joins your company on day one. In a lot of ways, that's when it begins. That's when you need to make sure that they get well trained and get up to speed quickly, and then you don't lose them in that first critical 30, 60, 90 days. And so we're really engaged with applicants and employees throughout that entire process to make sure that you can not only find them, that's just step one in a long process, but get them on your team and then keep them on your team.
So once the ad is out there and they respond, what happens?
Yeah, so at that point, no matter where they're coming from, it's all going to end up in one place. So you don't have to manage your emails and paper forms that somebody submitted to the front desk and applicants on Indeed. They all come to one place. And then Team Engine kind of helps you make sure that you're communicating with them continuously and moving them through the steps, whether your steps are a phone interview and then an in-person interview, and then you got to make sure you do a background check and a drug test. Whatever those steps are, they need to happen really efficiently and quickly, or somebody's just going to take a different job. And so we really help you organize that process and then really communicate effectively throughout that process so that you have more success and that success happens quicker than it would otherwise.
Huh. I know the communication is very quick. When they respond, you have a message goes right back out to them, don't you?
Yeah, so we actually specifically don't send it immediately because one of the big things for us is that automation has a place as long as it stays personal. I know that
Oh,
all of your clients that are listening, they're the owners and the HR managers and all these people that care really deeply about their business. And the last thing that they want is some really impersonal experience that their applicants are getting. And so we try to make it a quick and automated but very personalized experience. Use people's names, really kind of acknowledge specific things about their experience throughout the process. And so we won't necessarily respond the second they apply. We might wait 45 minutes to go out to
oh,
them. So you're getting back to them quickly, but doing it in a way that feels like that could be an actual person talking to me. And so most of the time, by the time somebody joins you, they actually have no idea that there's some automation threaded in with the communication that they're having with individuals within the business. And that's by design because personalization is super important.
well, I know that some of the companies I work with, my clients, they're
Yeah.
using Team Engine. They say it reminds them about work anniversaries and whatever you wanted to remind them about. And then it can also you can talk to all the folks, um, like all the folks in the field simultaneously, especially before a snowstorm. They love that before a snowstorm.
Yeah, the snow use case is particularly valuable because these are people who work for you sort of one off randomly based on the weather and the storms, and things change really quickly. And so you can't be managing usernames and passwords and having logins, and it just doesn't work. And so you just need to be able to quickly get information out to any number of people, get their availability for a job, and then be able to communicate with them as things inevitably change, as the weather does.
Yeah, that's
Um,
really, really cool. So when you see a company that's doing well and they've got their recruiting in order and they're keeping their people, what sets them apart?
Yeah, the number one thing that I see is they really know who they are. So they develop a brand for themselves that's not generic. People don't want just a job anymore. They can get a job from anywhere. And if all you're offering them is a job and a paycheck, then they're going to take the first paycheck that's this much more than the one you're providing them, and you're going to
True,
lose them,
true.
right? But if you provide them with a career and a growth set of growth opportunities that are clear to them and a team that they love working with every day and a feeling that they matter on your team and they're not just a warm body that's going out in the field to perform a job, they're going to stay with you and they're going to evangelize your company as a great place to work, which is just a tailwind for your business overall. And so the people that we see do really well, they know who they are, they know what their brand is, and it can be lots of different things. Maybe it's a third generation family business, or you are really focused on a certain type. You do a lot of community outreach work, so you're taking care of all the school properties in the area, and you really care about that. Whatever it is for you, you have to identify what that is, and then make sure that you make it part of the experience of working for you, part of the way that you market your business, and part of the way that you go out and find applicants, so that they have reasons to work for you and not for the company down the street.
Awesome. Now, I think if I was a business owner, and I was, if I'm probably thinking to myself, so what's involved in implementing Team Engine into the company?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of times these companies don't necessarily have dedicated IT people, right? You don't have time to do all that kind of overhead of setting up a system. And I think that's one of the things. It goes back to us being built for landscapers and for the green industry and all the unique challenges there. So you don't need logins, you don't need passwords. Your employees most of your employees and applicants don't even really know that they're interacting with software because
Mm.
the center of everything that we do is really text messaging and WhatsApp based communication. We try to reach people where they are because there's just no way you can manage all that overhead. And so you can get started with Team Engine in just a few hours. All you have to do is provide your basic list of employees and some contact information, and you can start communicating and start advertising your jobs same day, really.
Wow, that's really, really awesome. Well, I can see that, if a company wants to recruit and bring in their potential employees faster
Yeah.
and stay in touch with them and keep them, okay? And I know that the you can also click a button, it goes from Spanish to English, which I think is unbelievable. If they want to do that, I think Team Engine is certainly the way to go. I think you've created a very masterful product, and I know the clients that I have that are using it absolutely love it. They don't know what they would do without it, especially the HR people, because it saves them so much time.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. We're just very passionate about this industry and these companies that, like I said, kind of prop up the core of the economy and all the challenges that they face that are so unique from other businesses. And so we're just kind of honored to be serving them as best we can.
That's awesome. Well, there you have it, everybody. I think that if you want to learn more about Team Engine, all you have to do is click the logo below. Or if you want to contact Dave directly, we'll put his email down below too, and you can contact him because I'll tell you, some of my clients, they rave about it. They had like one had like five different positions, and they had to fill this within 4 weeks, and they thought it was impossible. And they did it like in 3 weeks. It was unbelievable. And they contacted me right away and said, "Wow, that is unbelievable." So not only they get their people faster, but they told me, "Don't say this too loud, but they're saving money too."
Good.
Don't
Yeah.
tell Dave that though.
Great. Hey, the more efficient, the better.
All right,
Uh,
this is Ed LaFlamme from the East Coast, and we want to thank you, Dave, for being with us today and sharing the information about Team Engine and the great product you've developed. We'll
yeah.
see
Well,
you
thank
next
you very
time.
much for having me, and best of luck to everyone. And thank you for serving your communities.
Okay, Dave. Take care. We'll see everybody next time.